nothing. I just was just looking forward to like the latest argument for atheism, or maybe the updated version, the 2024
Oh,
uh,
okay.
atheism
So
2.0. I was just kind of looking for that sort of interaction today. Like I always
well,
am, but I'm usually disappointed. But
so
hopefully,
atheism doesn't require any arguments because not believing in deities is not necessarily a position. It's just a characteristic of what most atheists are. We're just people who don't believe in any gods or goddesses.
Somebody born in
So
a
there's
complete vegetative state is an atheist.
That's true. Yeah, so because one of the prerequisites for believing in a god or a goddess is to have at least a partial concept of what that god or goddess is. Otherwise, it's impossible to believe in it. So we can go through life completely ignorant of what this concept is, not have any belief, or we can be aware, like myself, I'm aware of what these concepts are, and they vary depending on who you talk to. The Christian one is pretty straightforward when you just look at the basics, and then there's a bunch more added onto it. I don't believe in any of those things. So if I
can we
was to
go
take
back
the
to what Planet said though? What did he say again? He said that what? Who's an atheist?
Okay, I'm just trying to finish what I'm saying. He said
Yeah.
people born in a vegetative state. But what I'll say is that, for me, I don't. If I was to hold a belief that there are no deities, then I'd be taking a position I would have to justify. I'm not holding that position in most cases. So that's fine. Now, again, your point about wanting justification for atheism, I really don't think is there. The only justification is that there are people who don't believe in deities, and that's it. So I really think it's that simple. It's not complex like a religious deity, like a god, the Christian god or something. It has quite a lot more to it. So that's my view. But if you want to go back to respond to that or go back to Planet Peterson, that's up to you.
No, that was beautiful. But what
Thank you.
Planet said there was weird because he said that the person is in a vegetative state.
Yeah,
What
they're
is
an
what is that?
atheist.
Born into a
Vegetative
vegetative
state.
state.
Vegetative state just means his body can't move. That doesn't mean his mind is not working. Correct?
Born in a vegetative state
Yeah, their
is what he
brain
said.
their brain obviously works because they are alive.
So then, how would they? So then, if they could have thoughts, um, then yeah, then how would that make them an atheist? I don't understand that.
You're
Can,
cla-
can
you're
you
claim
elaborate
you're
what that
claiming
means?
that people born in vegetative states believe in God, the
I
Christian
don't
God
even know what
specifically.
being born in a vegetative state. So you would have to clear that up first, is what I'm saying. I never said anything. I'm trying to understand what a vegetative state to me means that you still have brain function,
Yep.
but you can't move your body. Is that correct?
Yep, these are people. They're conscious. They have some sort of conscious experience. It's very different from the one you or I have. And they don't believe in God, just like I don't.
Well, well, well. Okay, all right. So unpack that for me, bud, please. I really want to understand what you're saying.
I honestly don't think I can make it any simpler than that.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
Well, it's a you
You're
problem,
saying
not a
that
me
you.
problem.
So why even make a comment if you're not going to go into the explanation? I mean,
Because it was
I
it,
thought that's
it was
what we were
extreme. It
here
was
to talk.
extremely simple, and you just can't grasp it. I guess I don't know.
I can't see how you and someone, unless you're calling yourself that, are this. Do you consider yourself a vegetative state mentally or physically?
No, I'm telling you
I
that I
don't
don't
understand how
believe in
you're
God
comparing. Oh, okay. So how is that compared to someone in a vegetative state
because they
when they
don't
can
believe
still
in
have
God.
thoughts? Yeah, but how is it that somebody can't move their physical body equivalent to someone not believing in God? That sounds weird.
I
I
like.
mean,
Are you
it just
being
doesn't sound
deliberately
right.
obtuse, or are you just trying to buy
No,
time so you can come up
if I
with a counter
can't,
argument?
if I can't
The
move
idea that
my
they can't
body,
move their arms has something to do with what they believe in. You'd have to be
is it?
trolling or just biting time to
Well,
make that
that's what
argument.
you said. That's
No,
what you said.
that's not the
You said,
implication for what I said, and it's plainly
"Oh,
obvious.
Well, then maybe you need to clarify. What
Maybe you
you're
need to learn
explaining
how to
is
think.
A vegetative state. Well, I could think and I can move my arms. You're saying a guy
Great.
that could think
That
and
has
can't
nothing to
move
do
his
with what
arms.
you believe in.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. So, could that person? You're saying that person can't hear, see, talk, taste?
Yeah, and they
Is that
don't
what you're
believe in God.
describing?
Yeah, they don't believe in God. That's what I'm telling you.
Well, they don't have any beliefs.
Great. Including a belief
That's
in
irrelevant.
God.
Well, that's what I mean. So if he can't have any beliefs, he can't
Then they're
distinguish
atheists.
one from the
Yeah.
other.
There you go. They're
Hang
atheists.
on.
No, that they're
Hang on.
they
Hang on,
don't. They're not even communicating.
Yep, they're
We need to stop
atheists.
They
here for a
can't
second. We need to
communicate.
stop for a sec, guys. Stop for a sec.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's saying.
That they're atheists.
No.
It's extremely simple.
Hang on. He's not saying they can't have beliefs. He's just saying they don't believe in any deities, right, Peterson?
Yeah, it's extremely simple. They don't believe
so
in God.
someone. So someone that doesn't see, can't hear, can't speak, can't taste, can't talk or walk or feel. What beliefs do they have?
Maybe none.
So then,
including a belief in God. So they're atheists.
Well, an atheist would have to. You have to accept the God position in order to reject.
You literally don't.
So
I don't reject it. I don't believe it.
I just explained why you don't have to.
Wait, but you have to know that it's what it means, right?
No, you literally don't. Because not believing
So
something
you don't
is
believe
not
in blue
rejecting it.
blah? You don't believe in blue blah?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No.
How can you not believe in something you don't know what it? So there's
Because
these things in the world right
a,
now
because believing is a
that
positive
you don't
claim.
know about.
Yeah, belief
Think about
is a
all the
positive
things
claim.
that you don't know about.
I'll just
right?
talk over you.
You're
I
saying
have no
you don't
problem doing
believe-
that.
You don't believe in
Belief
those
is a
things,
positive
right?
claim, and
Oh,
rejection is a
someone
positive
really-
claim,
I
but
don't know why
not
he's-
believing is not a positive
Hey, one
claim.
at a time.
Can you control the stage, guys? He's putting his phone in his mouth.
It's
Thank
okay.
you,
One,
Alyssa, for
one,
coming
one at a time, guys. Come on.
Yeah, please. So first, for something to be falsifiable, right? It has to be present or tangible, or it has to be something in order to be falsified. If something's not there, you can't unfalsify. Like you can't unfalsify. You can't unfalsify 2 + 2 = 4. Right? It's an
That's
abstract
ontological.
thing.
Jesus fucking
Yeah, that's
Christ.
ontological. We were talking epistemological, so we were moving into ontological. We can do that.
I always go into ontological first. There's no way you can have epistemology without ontology. So
We started off that way, and you
Obviously.
said my description was beautiful, and I did describe how we need to conceptualize something before we can believe in it.
well, no. You said that's the reason why you don't defend atheism, and I said that was beautiful.
Atheism is
Okay,
not
I
a positive
did.
claim.
So it's not a positive point. That's why.
Correct.
No. Then you didn't listen to what. Then you didn't listen to what Randolph is saying, because he said that's the reason why he doesn't take that position, because then he would have to defend that. That's exactly what he said. Are you not paying? Are you not on the
no,
same stage as
I
him?
do not think that's what he said.
Can we kick this guy off the stage then? Because I think he's trolling and he's not letting the
Okay,
conversation.
he's one of the panel members today, so
Oh.
we're not going to get into that now. I'll clarify what I said. I did say that the prerequisite for belief in something is having at least a partial concept in what it is you're believing in. So, as an atheist, there are all these different deities I have no concept of that I don't believe in because I can't hold a belief in them because I don't have a concept of what they are. That doesn't preclude me from being an atheist. That is why I'm an atheist.
Mr. Planet, did you hear what he said?
Sort of.
Did you agree with what he said?
Not sure.
What are the parts are you unsure of?
Most of it. So if you want to know what my position on atheism is that I don't believe in God, just like a person in a complete vegetative state doesn't believe in God. I do not make the positive claim that God does not exist. God might exist.
Me too.
I just don't believe
I'm on the
it.
same page.
Yeah, there we go.
Me too. I'm on the same page here.
Yep. So I'm not making a positive claim. It's just like aliens. Aliens might exist. It's possible that they exist, but I don't have any specific beliefs about aliens. I don't have a belief about what color they are, how many arms or legs they have, or anything like that. They could exist, but I just suspend any belief in them, specific belief in them.
So what
Is it
about
logically
you?
possible that a God? Is it logically possible that a God can exist? Hang on, Bob. Is it logically possible that a God can exist?
Who is that a question for?
Are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure. Not the Christian God. That's obviously impossible.
But it is logically possible for there to be a God.
No,
Just
because you claim that he's all-knowing, yet if you just literally read Genesis 18, he has to go down to Sodom and Gomorrah to see for himself because he doesn't know.
So I have a different framework to your kind of trad classical model of God. So if that's logically possible, it's logically possible there could not be a God. It's logically possible that there could be a God that no one's defined yet, deistic gods. So what we're saying then is atheism, and I could be wrong, but it's both are possible, and we don't have the access to say which is true or false. Would you agree?
Is it
No.
Yeah, I don't even know what that meant really.
Oh, okay. Well, it's logically do I have to say this again? It is logically possible that the Christian God is. It's logically possible
I don't assert
that
that.
there are.
Is he
Actually,
is he conking it out? Is he
I'm
conking it
asking
out
about
for me?
logical possibility.
I think I understand what he's saying. He's asking if we think it's logically possible for the Christian God to exist, and this is one of the
No.
deities
No. That's not what he
I'm
said. That's not
actually
what he
voting
said.
against.
It's
Okay,
not what he said. It's not what he said. It's not what he said.
what did he say then?
Saying a God that's
It's-
undefined, a God that we don't yet, nobody has yet defined. For example, would that be logically possible?
I'm going to call that sophistry. Just because we've not defined something doesn't mean it's not there. There are probably planets out there we're not aware of that we've not defined. That doesn't mean they don't exist.
So what you're saying is it is logically possible because you can't find a contradiction yet. There isn't one.
So again, this is why I'm calling this sophistry, because how is this relevant to our conversation?
It's called logic. If you, I know you atheists don't use it, but that's because you can't think like a normal human.
You guys
So you're
can't
saying
think,
atheists
you guys think
are
one
not
times
normal
three
humans?
is one.
So I would say it would be both nomologically impossible and metaphysically or broad metaphysical basically logical possibility. But I basically say it's logically impossible that your God, the Christian God, cannot exist. That would be a logical impossibility that your God could exist. That is impossible.
Well, whose
for
God
it
are you
to
talking
exist.
about? Whose God are you talking about?
The Christian
Mine
God.
or Barthologist?
So, any
Dude,
God
there
that
isn't
says a
a Christian
mind
God.
that exists without
Dude,
space, time, or
dude,
body.
you're showing off. Yeah, dude, it's
Showing
just
off?
that you just cannot stop yourself.
So he's not allowed
I
to
don't
speak
believe in
uninterrupted.
what you think
Wow.
of as the Christian God. You haven't.
So
You
the
never
Christian
asked.
God
But
is
yeah,
not
you think.
logically
I believe. Why
impossible.
are you criticizing? Why are you not talking to me? Because you are attacking something that's not even an argument. This is a fallacy, dude.
Does your
Pointing
God
at
have
something
a
that I am
mind,
not pointing at.
LSF?
Does my God have a mind?
I like how you got offended on your own
Do
behalf.
tell me.
And because we were talking to Barth, and then you come in here and
I
pick
actually
up the
don't,
conversation
yeah.
in the middle. And then we're saying all these things, and you go, oh, well, what? I don't believe those things. Well, then maybe you should have been here on time.
Does your God have a mind, LSF?
Who?
You're
Have
saying
you got an argument? Or are you just going to cry?
Does your God have a mind?
What is a
LSM?
mind?
Planet, you're comparing yourself to
You're asking
something
me
that
a question, and I
in a
want you to define the
vegetative
word
state.
mind because I don't understand the question.
Yeah, just a standard definition of mind that anybody would use when discussing this topic. I'm not going to go into precise definitions with you on stuff like mind and consciousness, as it's not necessary here. I'm asking, does your God have a mind, as in like the consciousness that would be a product of a brain that allows you to have conversations
No.
and get on a day-to-day basis?
No, it doesn't.
So your God would be unconscious?
I don't know if I'd call it unconscious.
Does your God have a
Could you tell us
require
anything
space and
you know
time to
about
be
your God?
conscious?
He's asking us to talk about, make a logical determination about a deity he can't even describe. That's why I call it sophistry, because it is
haven't
sophistry.
asked.
No,
Why don't you
I was
it's
talking about
sophistry.
the Christian
You're putting-
God
you're- hang
when
on,
I was
hang on,
saying
hang
it was
on, hang
logically impossible,
No.
right?
Hang on. You're putting forward sophistry, basically. You're putting forward a hypothetical that isn't even properly formulated. So, give us something that we can work with. Otherwise, we're just going to ignore it.
Oh, so is your question, how would I define my God? Rather than you stick things in my mouth and say, what do you call this word? So my God is unity. It's just purity, unity. It's
What does that mean?
one thing. One
That's
entity.
not a God. That's just unity.
It has divinity. It is spirit. It is
It's all
in the
meaningless.
world
This is
called
Okay, so it's
called
supernatural.
the
Okay.
divine spark.
So it's supernatural.
This is all meaningless.
yeah, these are just words.
Yeah, and so are yours. And when you say,
no.
I don't
That's
know
why.
if God
That's why I
exists,
called it
naturalism,
sophistry.
cry about it then.
Oh, I'm not crying. I'm not unhappy here. I'm actually holding back my laughter because this is such a ridiculous idea that's been put forward.
Well,
Like, can you give us
thing.
some kind of cogent idea to work with here?
Yeah, because I could just claim eeny, meeny, miny, mo is unity. It is everything.
Well,
is.
Well, this is the thing, right? He said he started the conversation, this guy Planet, with complete sophistry, saying that he and this person in a vegetative state that has nothing, basically just just breathing, laying on a bed, breathing in a vegetative state, that he and this person in a vegetative state are equal when it comes to the existence of something they know nothing about.
Yeah, we're both atheists.
Do you
that's
think that's
very, very obviously true.
That's pure sophistry. What
It
he's
literally,
describing,
it literally isn't, because
and now he's
I'm not
over-talking.
talking about.
Can we control this person?
I'm not
I'm just
talking
gonna
about
mute up.
things that can't be
I don't know what you're
defined.
talking
We
about.
understand what a person in a vegetative state
No,
is like.
you and a
Just
person
new
in a
atheism,
vegetative
Bart.
state. He is comparing himself to someone who is deaf, dumb, and blind.
Yeah,
that can't
that's
move
not
his body.
sophistry, Bart.
That's what does that mean? Like you have to define that. Like you're comparing yourself right now to someone in a vegetative state that's deaf, dumb, and blind.
What
So,
a fucking
ridiculous.
moron! You are actually the dumbest person I have talked to all day.
I have no idea what you're
even saying. Let's stop the name calling. Come on. So Barthologist.
No,
I'm
deaf,
not.
dumb, and blind means deaf, dumb, and blind.
No, I'm not talking about you,
Plain.
Barthologist. I wasn't talking about you. So we're not going to call these people dumb. That's not the right thing to do.
That's up to them.
Barthologist, Planet Peterson did get specific in the hypothetical he brought up about a person in a vegetative state. All that stuff was cogent and easy to understand. What LSP brought up. Hang on. I'm not finished. So LSP, what he brought up was not well defined and had all kinds of stuff missing from it, was not cogent enough to work with. That's the difference.
I didn't actually bring it up. Somebody strawmanned my argument. I was simply talking about the logical possibilities that Planet Peterson said about the possibility of UFOs. So I asked a couple of questions about logical possibility. You lot strawmanned it, ran it. Taco ran his atheist Presupps when I don't believe those things that he's criticizing, and stuck
Isn't there an
standard Christian
atheist
God on them.
Presupps?
So you didn't, and then you started asking me for definitions of God. And I didn't come here to give you a definition of God. Can you remember the beginning of the conversation, Taco?
Then how can
Was
you
I talking
ask
about
if your God is
logical
logically
possibility?
impossible?
That's all I was talking
How
about.
can
That's
you ask
all
for
I was
that
talking
if you
about.
can't
Planet
define
Peterson
your
clearly
God?
doesn't understand how it works. Why are you
How
over
can
talking
you
me before
ask
I
for
finish
that
speaking?
if you can't define your God? You got to define your God.
I'm not defending a God when I talk about logical possibility, am I? I'm defending logical possibility.
Well, you would need to define your God because logical impossibility would be defined by contradiction in terms, right? So if there was a contradiction in terms, you could be
No,
like,
it's
yeah,
not.
this thing's logically
Oh my
impossible.
God. You don't falsify something with a contradiction. You understand that?
Wow.
You don't. That's not how you falsify something. You do realize that. You don't say, "Oh, let's wait until there's something that you can't explain, and then that means it can't exist."
Logical possibility just means there's no contradiction.
Yes, it does.
Are you saying that
So
something that is a
epistemic
contradiction
possibility
can
then says, I
exist?
don't know. You
linguistically.
Logical
So
possibility.
if there
said, I
was a
don't know, you don't
contradiction,
know.
it would be logically impossible.
Correct.
There you go. You agree with me.
So something can exist that has no contradictions in it. Is that what you're saying?
I was saying logical possibility deals with the thing in question not having a contradiction.
So if I explain something that doesn't have a contradiction, you're saying that automatically exists.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, it would be
okay.
logically possible. That doesn't mean it's nomologically possible. It just means that it's like broadly metaphysically possible, right?
So where's the contradiction? Yeah, where's the contradiction in saying, is it possible that a God could exist? Where's the contradiction in that?
Well, it would be on the specific God. Like if somebody said there was a mind without a brain, that would be a logical impossibility.
That wasn't the question. This is why he's getting so annoyed.
I just addressed your question directly.
Can you answer? Listen, Randall, can you take over this conversation? I don't understand why he's adding things when he's just talking about logical possibility.
So Bart, you've already asked Barthologist. You've already asked us to kick somebody off the panel, which went nowhere fast, and now you're asking us to manage things differently. I think.
No, I'm just asking if
you wanted, and you're interrupting me now. You wanted to bring somebody else on, which we normally don't do here, and you've gotten the result you wanted, where things turn into a bit of mayhem. So this is on you. So if you guys want to have a proper conversation with us, then let's go. Let's do that.
Yeah. Let's have the proper conversation.
Okay.
What is
so who said? Run with why Christian God can't exist according to Taco
because he doesn't know the
classical definition or whatever he's using.
Because he's omniscient, but he has to go down to Sodom and Gomorrah to see for himself, because that's the only way he will know.
Oh, do you think the Bible is literally true?
I would just point out that a mind requires a brain.
Consciousness may not, or you can't have, or you might not get it out of AI. Is it logically possible that AI could become conscious? Taco?
Go ahead and give the logical argument if you think it is.
We could easily extend it by altering my prior statement to mind requires some type of physical substrate. Which ultimately would consist of energy, right?
Oh, don't bother.
What are we talking about?
He's right. He won't get it.
He's bringing in his quantum field idea, which is just a joke Presupps. Yeah. Me and you do need to have a conversation about that, because I'm going to explain quantum field theory to you in detail. And so there are not just one quantum field for a start. It depends what you're working with. I'll explain it all for you. But until then, dude.
So
Oh, this
what
guy's
this
Just got
planet guy
sarcasm. That's all
said,
you've got.
yeah. So this planet guy said because he has to come down to creation, he can't exist. That was his. I don't understand where's the contradiction in that then? If you
Okay.
want to use
If I
the law of
already,
non-contradiction as being, why are you speaking then?
because you
This is
asked
what
a
I mean about you
question.
guys. But I wasn't finished.
Okay, so you're going to ask a question and
Why
then
does it
and
have
then
to
go
be?
off
Why
and then
does it
go
have to
on
be a
and
shit
on and
show?
on about nothing.
I'm
for
not
a
going to
while.
go on and
ahead.
on and on. I let you go on and on and on.
I already
And
know your
wait until you're
question, so
done.
I'm prepared to answer it. But go ahead.
All right. Well, let me finish the thought here. So you're presupposing a lot here. You're using the Sodom and Gomorrah story as a basis for bringing up some sort of contradiction in the Christian God
Oh boy.
or something like that. I don't even know. So what is it about this story or the aspect of one story that you have trouble with? That I've never heard this before.
I don't have. That's amazing because this is only like the 18th chapter of the Bible. You'd think you would have got to this point. So
I've never heard anyone use this as an argument. So
okay. So if I have to open a box to know what's in it, does that mean that before I opened the box, I possessed all knowledge?
why are you sidestepping?
I'm not. I'm
Sodom
asking
and
you a
Gomorrah.
very simple question, so you can't
I'm
weasel
not
out
going
of
to
it.
answer any other
Wow,
question.
why are you?
I asked you a question.
If you
Why are
overtalk
you
me
asking
again,
a question?
yeah. So because I
I
know how
overtalk you again.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
going to threaten me now.
I know how dishonest people like you are, so I have to ask you a question to make sure that we actually agree on terms.
You made a statement. You have to back up your claim. You said something about Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm trying to understand.
And I
so
know
don't
what's
ask me
going.
a question.
Yeah, so I know what's going to happen is you're going to try to weasel out of it in some way. So we need to, before we get there,
So
we
you're
need
scared because you have no argument. I'm not afraid.
You're scared because you are
All you have
refusing to
do
engage
is
with
explain
this.
to me the Sodom and Gomorrah story.
Yeah, and I'm
the
gonna
angels or whatever it is that you want to
So
do. So explain
before
that
we
to
do
me.
that, you need to answer the question.
I'm not
If
gonna answer
I
your questions.
need to, because you're scared. Yeah. So I'll just do it for you. That's fine. I don't need you. If I need to open a box before, or if I need to open a box to find out what's in it, then I cannot say that before I opened the box, I possessed all knowledge because I don't even know what's in the box. Everybody, all the people watching this know that that's exactly how that works. Bart, you know that that's exactly how that works. So the God you believe in apparently possesses all knowledge. Do you think that that's false?
You know what a narrative is?
So I'm talking to Bart, so I don't care whatever you have to say.
No,
So,
you guys are
Bart,
allowed to he's allowed to speak for me also because you have Taco speaking for you and all this other stuff. Of course we
no, that actually hasn't happened. So is your God omniscient? Does it know all?
You're supposed to be explaining the Sodom and Gomorrah story to me. That's it. No questions.
That's not how it's going to work, and I don't know what makes you think it's going to go any other way. So is your
So
God
then you don't have an
all-knowing?
argument. This
Is
no
your
argument,
God
then. An argument
all-knowing?
is not a question.
Yeah, I'd be scared if I were you too.
Barthologist, please stop trying to operate how things run here. Just converse, please.
Is your God all-knowing?
Right. Well, I don't hold that the three omniproperties, if that's where you are heading, are logically consistent. So I don't believe that the God is omnibenevolent. Does that solve a problem for you?
Not even remotely, because we're not talking about benevolence.
Okay, well, in that case, I will go, yes, God is omniscient for the sake of your argument, which I'm happy to hear.
Great.
I'm interested as to why you think you falsified.
So God does not have to open a box to find out what's in it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then the Lord said, "The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great, and their sin is so grievous, that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know." He doesn't know. He has to go and see for himself. He has to open the box.
I have other parts of the Bible that say very similar things.
Yeah, great.
So
Christian God doesn't exist.
Like I said, the narrative of that, because I think that the Old Testament is a mythological history. It's expressing
so God
things
didn't create the
in
world.
terms of a aesthetic literary device. That's what I think they are. So whilst you say God doesn't know something, that's the story of the evolution of how it happened, not exactly as it happened.
Great. So now we can't trust anything in the Bible because we have no way of parsing out what really happened versus what didn't really happen.
Well, you kind of do, yeah.
And that is...
It takes more than just the Bible for a start.
Yeah, that is precisely the question that I asked you.
Okay, well, this refers to I have personal experience of the entity. Now, you can call me crazy, I don't mind, but that is just the way that it is.
Yeah, anybody can claim that.
I know they can, yeah.
Okay,
it becomes very clear when people see that.
Well, it makes your belief not special in any way, because I can just say Spanky revealed to me the truth.
Did I say it was? There's nothing special.
Again, you're getting offended. I'm just telling you that this is the way it is.
Sorry, you're passively aggressive. Why are you passively aggressive?
I don't answer stupid questions. Sorry.
Well, neither do I.
Okay. So, Bart, your God is not all-knowing. There we go.
Well, she said it was, so.
I don't know.
I
don't know why you asking me this question. You read the story side of the war. There must be something about it you believe in order for you to have some sort of, come to some sort of conclusion with it. So you said that you're in a vegetative state, and the person in a vegetative state cannot read the story. This way, you and the person in a vegetative state are not the same, and that was the crux of my argument. So you and the vegetative state are not the same. You can read the story. The person in the vegetative state cannot. This way, your argument is flawed. Thank you very much.
You're being deliberately obtuse. So comparing me to a person in a vegetative state has... Wow, you're talking over me. That's
you
interesting.
made a statement about the vegetative state. And that was my main thing having a conversation with you.
So me talking about a person in a vegetative state has nothing to do with what they are physically able to do with their body. Every idiot gets that. It has to do with what kinds of beliefs that they have. They don't believe in a God. I don't believe in a God. We're both atheists.
Yeah, the person in the vegetative state does not read Genesis 19 or Judges 19, which is the same story.
Neither could a Native American living 1,000 years ago.
Why is he over-talking me? He just... What? Come on, guys. Do some moderation over there. That's just being rude. You and the person in the vegetative state obviously are not the same, because the person in the vegetative state...
We have the same beliefs.
Why is this guy doing it?
Because you're being an idiot. You keep diverting to something that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
It's impossible to have a nice conversation.
Because you're not talking about the meat of the conversation. So forget the vegetative state, because you're incapable of understanding it. A Native American living 1,000 years ago also is incapable of reading Genesis, aren't they?
Yeah, but they could still experience God.
Do they believe in the Christian God?
He transcends through all human history.
Do you believe... So do you just believe that everybody is born believing in the Christian God?
That was never my argument. That was your argument.
That's not my argument. I asked you the question.
You said that a person that's born in a vegetative state is the same as someone living in it. And you've proven that right now with your argument that is not the case.
I cannot believe that you take yourself seriously to any degree and you would say stuff like that. He doesn't get it, so somebody else can talk to him. He's literally incapable of understanding that I'm talking about that they don't have a belief. So, I don't know.
Well, there's other ways to say that. The way you said it just didn't make any sense. And I just explained why it doesn't make any sense to you.
Your inability to understand it is not my problem.
So what is it about you and the person in the vegetative state that's the same?
I've explained it 20 times. I'm not explaining it 21 times. I don't care if I can't get across to you, because I'm doing this. This is for people to listen to the ideas, and people with sound minds will be able to understand that you just have completely failed to even try to understand or engage with this. And so my job here is done.
So now my understanding is Bartholomew just wanted to bring you on to team up with him. So what is it you guys wanted to discuss here? Or should we just move on to our next guest?
Conversation, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, conversation. Conversation you guys cannot attain because you're just coming up with these like foolish sort of rhetoric.
You've never
Like,
seen the online.
What? No.
Okay, I think I've had enough of them. They're just